this false narrative that there's some persecution or a genocide.
Why isn't it a genocide against Christians in Nigeria?
We don't want to be the next Sudan.
You dispute the numbers that have been reported to have been killed, but you have no idea how many Christians have been killed.
We are not hiding any facts.
Right now, you have an Islamist government in Nigeria. There is a reason that we're seeing these Islamic militants going around and yelling Allahu Akbar. That's not by coincidence.
It's easy for her to sit thousands of miles away and play games with people's lives.
I perform several burials because the Islamic are controlling the government. Let me tell you, there's a genocide in Nigeria.
Yes, you're welcome back to SSM Friday International Updates. My name is Mark Godwin Iwejuan, and I'm here with George. I think a small glitch there. So we've just talked about the former Nigerian president that went to Guinea-Bissau on election monitoring, and he almost got caught in the web, the coup. So let's spotlight on Guinea-Bissau. Guinea-Bissau is it's happened to just had election, and before we know it, there is okay. George is back. Let's spotlight on Guinea-Bissau. George, yes, we're spotting light on Guinea-Bissau. But before we go into the news of Guinea-Bissau, let's tell our viewers Guinea-Bissau. Guinea-Bissau is a West African country, beautiful country, has all those beautiful waterside island arrangements, but small country, 2 million people. Guinea-Bissau is right there in West Africa. It has its capital as Bissau, and the official languages are Portuguese, Guinea Portuguese. It has had its independence since September 1973. 74. Okay, so Guinea-Bissau is that West African Atlantic coast known for wildlife and beautiful parks. But lately, Guinea-Bissau is not doing fine. Guinea-Bissau actually is also one of those poorest African countries in the world. George, Guinea-Bissau had election. When they were counting the results, suddenly from nowhere, some group of people now came and said they are taking over. Now, the story is that the president, Umaru Sissoco, is actually the one that they say masterminded that what you call simulated coup against himself, because he saw that the election might not favor him. So he did this arrangement. But George, what do you know about this whole story, Guinea-Bissau?
Well, we're hearing some different aspects of this particular coup, whether it was the president himself that masterminded it or not. I think that news might not be accurate completely, because the man has been in government for a little bit. Now he has the power to write the election and put it out there. So I really do not think. I think what is happening from another side of this story is that
that's right.
He was trying to actually stay in power after such a while, but because there's the opposition went and announced that they were the ones that won, and it became chaotic, and even with all the election observers in there. So we had the news that the political, that the military has taken over, in a dramatic turn. So the coup has toppled the government, thrown the nation into turmoil. And then we also see that what we are seeing is just one day after the uprising, a general has been named the new leader, solidifying Army's hold on that particular situation. The swift move highlights the ongoing volatility and instability in that region. So that's where we are right now. We're following the news, and maybe by next week we're going to be able to, on Monday, between the lines, we might be able to talk a little bit more when more news comes out.
Okay, when more news comes out.
But
so
we are
viewers,
so
you're
happy.
hearing it. Yes.
We are so happy that they were wise
mhm.
enough to let all those former leaders in Africa to go back to their country.
Yes, those that came for the election monitoring, like our former president, Jonathan Goodluck. Goodluck was caught up in that thing, but he has arrived safely back to his home. So the general is the Huta Ntem. Huta Ntem is the transitional president they say he will be a transitional president for a period of time. That's the general right there in the middle with those other officers. And Guinea-Bissau, but George, Guinea-Bissau is a small country, but still economically very poor. And all they could be doing is making coup, taking power, wanting to lead, and they can't help the people. So many coups, all these coups, and all of the people that come. Yes, all of the people that comes in don't perform. It's not like they bring a new change, to the citizens' life, George. And now this one again. I mean, is it like a curse that they will be having that cycle of coups and nothing out of it? Anyway,
it's really a mentality.
George,
it's really a mentality. It's sad.
It's a mentality.
It's very sad. Yeah, it's a belief system whereby most of the people that are in power, even if they have gone out, because of the belief system, and around the people, that they surround themselves with, you don't see them moving anywhere to develop the country or to make the country a little better. And it's all about leaders living large while the poor people are just dying daily. It's sad. It is very sad.
Okay. All right, George, what's happening with the Afghan man that was accused of shooting 2 members of the United States military? What's the news there? We had the National Guard shooting.
Yeah, so this is what they call it, targeted attack. The shooting of National Guard members in Washington, D.C. is being described as a targeted attack by a man.
You can unmute. Sorry, George. You can unmute. You can go ahead. Unmute your phone.
Okay. So what we're seeing is this guy drove a long way in order to go to Washington, D.C. And the shooter has already been arrested. He's been detained. The assailant was shot and detained by other National Guard members at the scene, and now faces multiple serious charges and an assault with intent to kill. And police response. Following the attack, the President Trump announced a major re-examination of immigration, specifically targeting green cards for individuals from countries of concern again, and suspending requests from Afghan. So now anybody from permanently, there's no one from Afghan who will be allowed to enter into the United States of America because of this. And the increased security, the president, also ordered an additional 500 National Guard troops to be deployed to Washington, D.C., joining the thousands already stationed there. So what we're seeing, people can you just imagine what is happening right now? This particular attack is affecting all international,
all of that nine countries, nine people, innocent
Nigeria
people.
has been designated as a country of a particular concern. So it is very possible when they're deploying these people out there, there are a lot of green card holders from Nigeria, because it's part of the country of a particular concern, will be affected. They might be deporting a lot of green card holders from different countries, only simply because of this stupidity that this idiot just did. Not thinking.
Not thinking. Open up again, George. Sorry, it comes in suddenly, and
Yeah,
open up your phone. Yes. So
yeah.
that's it,
So
viewers.
what we're
That's a man
saying
there. That's the
is,
Afghan national that went to the National Guard area of Washington D.C. and shot two members of the United States military, and now he has added 9 countries into the list of countries that will be checking out. The names of the two officers are Sarah Beckstrom and Andrew Wolf. 20-year-old Sarah, 4 years old Andrew, and they say they are in very critical conditions in the hospital. Now, the story of this man is that he came to the United States in 2021 under a program that offered special immigration protection to Afghans that helped America when they were in Afghan. So this man somehow was like an assistant. He
you work
helped
with
the American.
CIA. You work with CIA.
He worked with CIA. So now
You actually
he
work
has
with
turned around
CIA.
to be against it. Okay. George, thank you for that story. George, we also have the news coming, even though it's almost 3 days old now. Brazilian former President Jair Bolsonaro he's being pushed to his 27-year prison sentence. Jair, the former president, because he attempted coup during the reign of the other man. Forgotten his name now. So 27 years awaiting former Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro. George, did you hear that? Is there anything on that you're
Yes,
saying?
yes, yeah. Brazilian court
Mhm.
has upheld a conviction against former President Jair Bolsonaro, sentencing him to 27 years in prison for abuse of
Mhm.
power and misuse
Mhm.
of media. The
Media.
rule, yes, the ruling linked to his actions during the 2022 election, and means he must begin serving his sentence immediately. I believe
Immediately.
that I heard also that he was trying to tamper with his, the security system that they put on his leg.
Ah,
He wanted to escape, and
to escape.
so they rearrested him, put him in prison. So he's going to start serving his 27 years in prison.
In
But
prison.
these things they do
So that
happen
means the rule
possibly.
of law works in Brazil. That's just what it
Well,
means.
it does. But you see, most times when you see things
Mhm.
like this, you have to ask yourself, is it a
Mhm.
clean thing that they do? Because they can, accuse this man falsely. They can actually, put something on him and say, well, this is it with the ruling class. So maybe they don't like him. Maybe a political opponent can just say, "Oh, this is what he's trying to do," and then they
Do.
they they, they go to court. Brazil is no different from Nigeria.
Okay.
Brazil is no different from Nigeria. So whether that is true or not, we don't know. But that's the news that we have.
That's the news that we have. Okay, viewers, that's the picture of the president there. That's former Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro, sentenced to 27 years in prison for plotting an attempted coup. Jair Bolsonaro. All right, George. George, Ukraine says they've reached an agreement with US on a peace plan with Putin. But that peace plan, they say, might require the Ukrainians to um, give out some of their land and reduce their military and some changes in all the plan they had initially with the United States. George, we hope we wished Dr. Ibe came in to tell us all of that. But anyway, there's a plan for peace, and Ukraine is meeting with Trump, and hopefully they might meet also with Putin to put all the plans well. But those plans means land concession and military reduction, like the source says. George, is there anything
Yeah,
you want to say on
yeah.
that?
It is a sad development, as a matter of fact,
Mhm.
because we don't know why Trump cannot push Putin to accept a ceasefire and stop these unnecessary killings. In a significant diplomatic development, Ukraine has announced that they've reached an understanding with the United States on a shared peace plan to end the war with Russia. This suggests a key step in aligning the strategies of of Kyiv and its most crucial allies. In a separate but related move, former President President Donald Trump stated that his personal envoy will soon meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin. The highlights of the parallel unofficial diplomatic track that are forming as the conflict continues. So we see, the impetus of Putin is something that the world needs to take a look at, because number one, he's violated every single international law when it comes to war. He's killing a whole lot of civilians unnecessarily, and every time there is, he kept on increasing the attack on these people and killing innocent people, bombing hospitals, bombing apartments, condominiums, and people's houses. That's not the way it's supposed to be, and yet the war was even, was lopsided, because there are things, Ukraine was not allowed to do in order not to inflict pain on Russia. So this is just, Trump is doing this because he wants to be like Obama, the Nobel Peace Prize that he's pursuing. But that cannot be done, to compromise the lives and a nation's sovereignty that this man came to attack. It's not good. We need a fair, equal ceasefire. Everybody dwell at peace with one another. These are their brothers. They were one nation under this thing before. So this is not good. I don't think this development, it might not even last. The only problem
let's see how that plays out. But this clearly shows that America is not as strong as they say, because if Trump cannot get Putin to his knees and follow up with their own dictate also, then let's just
it's a very sad
just what it is.
It's a very sad news.
All right, George, France, interestingly, is closing ties with a state in Nigeria called Kano State. France is going to Kano and building deep relationship with Kano State. Kano State is not core north of Nigeria. The French ambassador in Nigeria says, yes, they are doing this because they want to deepen cultural and economical ties with Kano, and also language. What they are doing, how they are going about it, is bringing the French language into Kano. So very soon we'll be seeing many Hausa people in Kano speak French, because this is what they want to do. George, we want to see more alliance. We want to see more collaborations like this. But is language?
Do we really need to see language? Do we really need to see more collaborations like this? Is the question that you need to ask.
Well, yeah.
Because think about it for a moment.
George,
think about it.
Okay.
Think about it. France is in a desperate move to capture more countries when Mali and many other, Cote d'Ivoire and the rest of them decided they don't want to have anything to do with them. Chad and the rest of them. So, and they have been milking these nations for many, many years. Many years. Milking them, raping them economically. So now they are looking for new allies, and these new allies is a desperate move. So for them to start, inching into a Kano, to a new cultural hub they say they want to build. They inaugurated a new alliance, they call it Francais Center in Kano, Nigeria, to promote French language and culture in the region. So they haven't even gotten English. They want to bring in French again. Okay, the French ambassador emphasized that learning French is a vehicle for wealth and prosperity, opening doors to employment and global connection. They used to do a lot with Niger Republic. Now, all of a sudden, that door is closed, and that's why they put a little foothold into Nigeria. The opening underscores France's commitment to deepening its diplomatic, economic, and partnership with Kano State and the northern Nigeria. So let me tell you something. See, this move should not be welcomed if it wasn't because of our president dilly-dallying with France. There gotta be some kind of connection, something he loves about French people.
But George, I'm surprised you're saying so much about France, next door to your country where you are, they speak French. Is it not so?
Where they do speak
Quebec
French, but
and
we're not a
Quebec.
French-speaking country. We
Mhm.
have seen what has happened to these French-speaking countries when France gets into them. So France, what the reason why France is coming into Kano is not because they love Nigeria so much. They're looking for avenues to milk also our resources. That's what they're
Hmm.
doing. It is a diplomatic, economic move. They think
Move.
talking about, we're going to help Nigeria. They're not helping Nigeria. They're helping themselves. When
Hmm.
Mali and all these other countries said, we don't want to have anything to do with you anymore, what happened
Mm-hmm.
was that, their economy was in a chaotic situation and condition. And that is
Yeah,
the reason why they're bringing a foothold into our country. I don't think
country.
we should allow that, because these people, they don't come with your interest at heart. They come with
Yes.
their own best interest
Own
at heart.
interest. All right,
That's what
George.
it is.
Let's put our viewers to what we're discussing. Viewers, we're discussing a very interesting collaboration there in north of Nigeria. Kano State has an alliance now with France. France says they want to teach Kano people French language because it will be a language that will bring them wealth and prosperity. We don't know how that will work. But yes, French is the new friend to the Hausa people. And well, George, listen to this. Collaborations are good when when there are clean motives. We build bridges, we connect with ourselves, we expand our businesses and our relationship through collaborating. But like what you're saying, in most times with the Europeans, that collaboration is one-sided. It's just for their own interests, not also trying to help the
Look
other
at the
man.
history of what they have done
Mhm.
with these other countries and why they are refusing to allow
Okay.
them to have any kind of diplomatic connections with them again. They did not
Okay.
leave a good trail. They
They
did
did
not
not
leave
leave
any
it.
good examples, to what they're leaving behind with these other countries. Look at
Okay.
most of the countries where France is.
Mm-hmm.
There is no peace in
Yeah.
those places. There is no
Look, look,
prosperity in those areas. These
okay.
people, they come, they take all their mineral resources and they give them a little aid here and there, which only goes to the ruling class, and the poor people are still dying and going into these mines and mining all these minerals for these people for kobos on the whole dollar. So
All
this
right,
is not
George.
well.
This is
I'm not quite
yeah.
sure that this is a very diplomatic move
Okay.
that will
Let,
help
let,
us
let's
out.
see. Let's see where it takes Kano State to in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Let's see what will come out of that whole thing if
Let
it
me
will be
tell,
productive.
let me warn Nigeria as a whole. Be
Mm-hmm.
careful when you are allowing these countries to penetrate into us. China is already having a stronghold in Nigeria. Now France is coming in again, and you see what they're doing. They're taking states now. They're taking states,
State.
and before
State.
you know it, you will see when a white man comes into your country. Let your two eyes be open. Don't close one, because they have a long-term agenda. One
A long time
problem we
agenda.
have in Nigeria
Okay.
is most of our agenda is for today, not for
For
tomorrow.
today.
But these
Yeah,
people, they have a
we're short.
long-term plan. They don't
Yes.
come. They come with
All right.
open eyes to malign and to
Mhm.
destroy and make sure that they rape you with your eyes wide open. Don't allow
All
soap
right.
to enter in your eyes while you're in the water,
Okay.
Nigerians.
George, there's a story from your end there. Quebec, the Canadian province, says they plan to impose restrictions on public prayer. They plan to limit the what people do in the public. Also, this face covering of women and all of that. Do you have that story
Yes, I do
from?
have that story.
Yeah, tell us,
Master.
George. Tell
So
us what's
Quebec
that story?
Bill 20 is called Bill 21. Requires public services like teaching or government jobs be provided and received with face uncovered, reinforcing the religious neutrality of the state or the region per se. The law relies on the notwithstanding clause. It is a constitutional tool that allows Quebec to override certain fundamental freedoms, preventing courts from striking it down. While it applies to all regions, critics argue that the law disappropriates this I say this
disappropriated. Disproportionate, yeah.
No, disproportionately affects regions, minority, and particular Muslim women who wear face covering. Now,
Okay.
the Supreme Court of Canada will hear. They will now hear the case. A debate over secularism continues to, to deeply divide public opinion in this particular issue. Now, what you're seeing, France already has it, because you see these women, they come out covering their faces. All you see is their eyes, and then a case came not too long ago where a teacher was trying to change the curriculum on the class, and they started teaching Sharia laws and Islamic laws, and they won't teach them what is in the curriculum. So this is part of the reason why there was an outcry, and people are saying we should not allow this to happen anymore. Therefore, when you come into our country, this is our country. It's a secular movement. Therefore, you must abide by what we tell you to do. Don't bring your laws
and not you tell us what you want.
Manipulate our children. Teaching. They refuse to teach sex class and some other classes that they were told to teach. So these are the things that are happening right now.
All right, George. George, thank you very much. Viewers, this is a beautiful engagement going on here. Beautiful discussion updates, news update with George from Toronto, Canada. George, we got to go. It's time to go. What's your last word for today? It's almost time now.
Number one, I will hail our president on this move that he's making regarding working with the U.S. in order to just permanently eliminate these insurgencies in Nigeria. He's stifled our economy. He's messed us up. He's only, just helping one area and destroying the rest of the nation. So kudos, Mr. President. Continue with this move and do not allow these people to, threaten you or to try to push you not to make the move you're making. And when you are making the move, Mr. President, please go back to the drawing table and make sure that all regions in Nigeria are represented, because they're going to go all out there and be able to tell the story of what's happening. It's akin to we saying that we need to bring, state policing. It's almost the same thing. So in the same way, let all regions be represented when they're discussing this issue with, United States of America.
And it's interesting that some of the names in the list, even the National Security Advisor, is a Fulani man. So it is like telling the dog to watch over a bone. Telling the dog.
And not only that, we need to get them involved, whether they like it or not, because the move is already on the way. So now we need to get them involved, but we also need to get the Easterners involved, the Southeast involved. Mr.
Nice. Georgie, thank you very much. Viewers,
involved, Mr. President. It is important that all parts of Nigeria be represented. Don't, because we've been crying out that the Southeasterners have been marginalized, and it is true. So pay attention to that if you want to be the president to everybody in Nigeria. We are hailing you and praying for you that God will give you that strength and the wisdom to continue this move that you are making. Now we see the economy is reversing. Things are changing. The price of rice is getting better. The price of gasoline is, is stabilizing in Nigeria. So there are so many positive moves, though they started not very good. But now
there's still a lot of work to be done.
Yes. And 2027 is coming, Mr. President. Make sure that Southeasterners and the Middle Belt, these people, whatever they're going through, let's go to the root causes and destroy them permanently so that our nation can move forward.
All right, George. Thank you very much, George. All the talk is awesome. So, viewers, this is it. Friday International Update, it wraps up for the week. Hopefully, we'll be here Monday with Between the Lines. So, on behalf of me and the team, have a beautiful weekend. Enjoy your weekend. Keep praying for Nigeria. Pray for all the places where the peace has not really taken hold. We need peace. We need to stop all this killing. We need to stop violence and all of that. So till we come again, have a great weekend. God bless you all. Thank you, George. See you, George. See you on the other side.
Yes.